StreamYard says, Mr. Abundance, you are live. And so it is another beautiful day in the Caribbean. And I first want to thank all of you for the support, your concern as to where we're going as we enter these turbulences. But at the end of it, it will all be good. What we're doing now will bring out the best for all of us in TBC. Make no bones about that. May I say to the global community of TBCians, Mr. Abundance is not going anywhere. Now, it will take more than one blog post to get rid of Mr. Abundance. A matter of fact, Mr. Abundance is so rooted in TBC that it will cause for TBC to be destroyed, to destroy Mr. Abundance. And so Mr. Abundance is here to bring management, to bring insight and foresight where TBC is concerned. I believe in TBC's mission. I believe in the objective of TBC, which is to create abundance and to eradicate poverty. I believe in that. And so, as I have said this morning in response to admin's blog, stay calm. No one needs to insult anyone. Let's deal with the issues at hand. Let's deal with the programs and the policies that is at hand. This is not Mr. Abundance versus the admin or the admin versus Mr. Abundance. That is not the case and should not be the case. This is all about how can we as the Kringle Society work together to achieve our goal. We cannot continue in TBC spinning around, going nowhere for the next 3 years. It is not even credibility. I said ad nauseum that no one can continue to break his promises and enjoys trust. No one can continue to break his promises and maintain integrity. No one can do it. And so what Mr. Abundance is saying, that when we speak as TBCians, people should listen to us. We should not become the laughing stock of the world because a small group of the elites in TBC has decided to turn the abundant-based coin into network marketing, because that is what it is. Admin paying the upline. I took note of Michael out of Ghana, who left the groups. He was one of my admin. He says admin is not working with Mr. Abundance, so he cannot now work with Mr. Abundance. Because of course, he's one of the Bitcoin contesters, and he's also one of the bounty, the bounty program recipient. And so I understand why. It was Michael who also in the meeting, the broadcasters meeting that they had last Monday, Michael told the admin that that his downline are not paying the admin fees because Mr. Abundance told them not to pay. They're waiting for Mr. Abundance. I will go through the blog that admin wrote, and I am saying to Mr. Michael that what you're asking your downline to do is not tenable. You cannot, you know the average salary in Ghana, Michael. You know, we cannot continue to be the house nigger. We cannot continue to make the West drop a little honey in our mouth and we think that that is all. You know, I really pity your condition, Michael. A matter of fact, when you left the groups, you know, I wish I could hold back the comments that came after you left. And so Mr. Abundance is not taking this personal. This is not a personal fight for Mr. Abundance. This is calling on the admin and the creator of the billion coin to do what the Kringle Society article of private association has implied. This is not being personally attacked by Mr. Abundance, nor the admin. I am not attacking the admin. I am dealing with the issues, so no one can cloud what Mr. Abundance is saying. We have to look very critically as to where we are and where we are going. We cannot keep wandering around like the children of Israel in the wilderness for 40 years and going nowhere. And so this week will be another marathon debate, and it is captioned the Kringle Society demands accountability, because that is what we're now demanding from the admin. Admin cannot take a part of Mr. Abundance's proposal and think he can just run away. No. There are more intelligent people in the society, Mr. Admin. You are calling for donations. It was one of my suggestions, but we need to have transparency and a management system in place that is dictated by the articles to which you supervised. And that is what we're saying. The Kringle Society cannot continue to promise people and then at the end of the day tell them, you know what, this is not going to be the case. You are dealing with people's name and reputation, admin. And this week I will deal with the article of association and accountability. Next week I will deal with all the proposal that admin have ever proposed in the Kringle Society and you will be the judge of yourself, who is credible and who is not. Mr. Abundance is saying we cannot continue to promise and keep breaking those promises. It is not integrity. I will now go to what, by the way, let me start to share my screen. And by the way, as I mentioned yesterday, I did submit the bullet points to admin. I'm not too sure if it's the points that we're asking for infuriated him to make that response. As a matter of fact, I even wrote to him to tell him that I will meet in conference with him this morning about 8 a.m. my time, because I know in where he lives now, it is quite a few hours ahead of me. And so that was the plan. Until this morning when I awoke, I saw the debate in my group. And so this is what Mr. Abundance and the Kringle Society has put before the admin. And you can be the judge of yourself. Because if the admin thinks that he can use a blog to discredit Mr. Abundance in TBC community, he is really being misled by the broadcasters. And this is what we have submitted. The Kringle Society is appealing to the admin to use this opportunity to operate the Kringle Society transparently with accountability, progressive policies, and programs to achieve our full-blown economy sooner rather than later. I ask every one of you, what is the sin in calling the admin to provide transparent accountability and policies that will get us to full-blown economy? What is our primary focus in TBC? Full-blown economy or residual bounty income? What is our priority? Second, to this end, the Kringle Society is calling on the creator of the Billion Coin, TBC admin, to effect the Privy Council and the Board of Trustees, which are stated in the Kringle Society Private Contract Association, Section 5 and 6, on the venue and jurisdiction, which gives the Kringle Society the operational credibility needed. We further suggest that accurate quotations from reputable sources be sourced to provide us with the final figure to automate TBC system that will allow for transactional charges on sales of Kringles to provide funds needed to manage the day-to-day operations in TBC. Where is the sin in asking the overseer of the Kringle Society to get quotations from reputable sources, not just throw out figures in the community? That type of leadership has come to an end, Mr. Admin. You can no longer come to the society of intelligent people with integrity and say, this is what this costs, this is what that costs. That is not what the Kringle Private Contract Association stipulates. It stipulates that you should appoint a Privy Council and a Board of Trustees to manage the day-to-day affair. in TBC. The Kringle Society is of the view, after the suggestion made by TBC admin yesterday, Friday, that it will take approximately 100,000 to have the automated system, and only 10,000 active members are paying their back office fees, which calculated to be 250,000 US. We, the members of the Kringle Society, are saying that we will forfeit our Bitcoin bounty for November and retain the 250, and we're asking admin to retain the 250,000 to acquire the automated system. But we further stipulate the society should be informed of quotations coming from at least 2 reputable sources. This is what you call management. This is what you call accountability. This is what you call transparency. How can you collect monies from your society with no accountability? Which organization operate like that? We are saying that we are creating something different from the elite system. That is what we're saying. And so if we are creating something from the elite, because we know the elite system are corrupt, we know that the elites have used the media to clone, to condition the minds of the people. That is what the elite has done. And so even we in TBC are suffering from the media and their perception of what truly a digital coin should be. We in TBC are battling the elites about we being a scam because we are private. But that is the danger of the media. And the admin now is using TBC media avenues to now condition the minds of the TBCians. It is quite unfortunate that the blog has to fall that low. TBC says, the admin says in his article that he has many complaints coming to his desk. Ask yourself the question, who has access to admin's desk apart from the broadcasters and the contestants of Bitcoin contests and the recipient of Bitcoin bounty? Who has contact with the admin rather than the broadcasters and the recipient of Bitcoin bounties? That's what admin says. He's tired because Mr. Abundance is saying to the TBCians, by the way, I have not even said it. I have not even said it. All what Mr. Abundance has questioned is where these fees and policies are taking us. And so Mr. Abundance is saying that if the admin refuses to put transparent and management system in place come December, I will tell the community of TBCians we will not pay no admin fees until we know what we are paying for, and the roadmap and where we are going. We cannot continue to operate like, and I said December, did I say November? But if I said November, I meant December, because some of you have your coins to redeem. So redeem your coins, redeem your Kringles. It is fair. Some of you are cash flowing. It is okay. You can pay your back office. But those of you who have no need to cement or to pay Mr. Abundance bounty, we should hold strong until we get accountability in TBC. It's not about Mr. Abundance. We're asking for a strong and transparent system in TBC that will give all of us comfort. And we're saying that no one man should be in charge of TBC affair. We also said, based on the ongoing debate with regards to admin fees, consensus shows and suggests that members should be given an option by TBC admin to participate as full-timer, taking part in the Bitcoin contest, Bitcoin bounty program, paying 8 grains of gold monthly, and 5% transactional fees. What we're saying that the admin, all of us can have our cakes and eat it. And so if those of us who want to receive Bitcoin bounty rewards and to be in the contest, it is all well and good. It is a program with it that admin has put in place. That is fine. But we're also saying that the majority of TBCians who are in TBC should be allowed to remain as part-timers paying. They're saying that there's no link. Is that correct? That there's no link? Okay. Can somebody who is listening forward the link, please? Just copy the link and send it into one of the forum so that we can send it around. Because every time I do it from my end, you know, so please, somebody who's listening, just copy the link and drop it in the group, and you know, we will share it around. Very critical to arrive at a full-blown economy are the suggestions of admin projects that need to be financed. The society has suggested that such projects should be brought to the membership to help raise the necessary funds, such project like our blockchain. And so we are saying that all these projects should be brought to the community once we would have had the management structure in place. So please, somebody drop the link so that we can share it. The debate also highlighted the need to have a forensic audit. Okay, I think, did somebody drop the link? Yes, I think somebody dropped the link in the group. Thank you very much. In number 2 and number, okay, let me see who dropped the link. All right, so let me send the link over to the other group. I see the link is in group 2 and 3, so let me put it to the other groups. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. All right, so I am now putting the links in the other groups so that everybody can follow the debate. It is very critical that we do this. Okay, and so we're asking for a forensic audit of the actual numbers in TBC. Suggestion was also made for the send button meetings to change the present format due to the ineffectiveness to attract the attention of members. The society believes this platform can be used as an interactive tool and as an interactive forum where members can constantly, okay, I did put it there. All right. One moment there, I am just trying to get the link out as a few people are requesting the link so that they can follow this important development that will change fundamentally the way how TBC is being managed. And so don't get it twisted. And that is why I am calling for calm, and no one should disrespect the admin, even though he sank very low where Mr. Abundance is concerned. But that is fine, because I have spent many hours with the admin, and that's not the admin that I came to know. And so sometimes when you are upset, you either bring the best or the worst out of you. And you know, husband and wives will testify, boyfriends and girlfriends will testify that things that they say when they're upset, they ever regret. And so sometimes when you're upset, the best thing to do is to breathe. Take a few deep breaths, clear your head, and think properly. And so what the admin did, it was off the cuff, with no clarity or intention, because I don't think that the admin expected to bury Mr. Abundance with that blog. I don't think he expected to cast doubt on Mr. Abundance's credibility in admin, in the society, that no one will listen to Mr. Abundance. I don't believe admin thought of that. No, he couldn't, because the blog did not make Mr. Abundance. The blog made a lot of the broadcasters, but the blog did not make Mr. A matter of fact, admin was forced to put my video on the blog. A lot of you don't even realize that. I am telling you now, because of this same Bitcoin bounty, when I objected in Mba's training that this Bitcoin bounty is to reward incompetence, and let the record shows that I objected to it when it first came out. But in conference with the admin, I tried to understand why he did it, because the society was in a dire strain financially. And so he needed the funds to keep TBC afloat. And so I want all of you to go back. And by the way, let me see how many minutes, because this debate is going on for the next week. And so I will not be long. I will not be long today. A matter of fact, I have a funeral to attend. So let me see how many minutes. But I wanted to touch first quickly. Oh dear me. I wanted to go through that that blog that admin places on the thing this morning. I also wanted to go to our Kringle article of association, but I will leave the Kringle article of association for now, I will deal with that tomorrow, because this is what I will deal with this week. Our article of association, accountability, transparency, and good governance in TBC. We have to get it right. And so, Mr. Admin, by the way, he listens to all of my broadcasts, but he will not post any of these because they are not in his frame of mind. And the broadcasters will not touch it because their interests, the Bitcoin bounty is more important to them than full-blown economy where we can lift everybody up and not some people. A few dollars in, by the way, I will leave that for tomorrow, because I think Mr. Admin, thank you, Mr. Critic, for taking out the trash in TBC. By the way, the trash is the admin, the driver. I see I am in the middle, and I see what the broadcasters behind. What did admin meant by taking out the, is admin calling the Tibetians who are not of his view trash? Is admin is saying that if we do not support the Bitcoin contest and the Bitcoin bounty, that we are trash? Is admin is saying that those who are paying their back office fees so that the leaders can get Bitcoin bounty, that they are trash? I want admin to elucidate. Some people are full of themselves and narcissistic that there is no hope to redeem them. Such is the case with Mr. Critic. He has effectively suicided himself in the community. And he did this to himself without any help from any other Tibetan. But he's going out into the public claiming that he has my ear as the admin of TBC. He once did, but now he doesn't. He has no direct access to me. I have wasted a great deal of my time listening to his broadcasters over the last week in response to an avalanche of complaints coming to my desk about him. Now, let us stop there for a while, because we're going to dissect this for the entire week. Mr. Abundance is going to take this for the entire week, because I don't believe that the admin in his rightful mind believed when he wrote this article that he will bury Mr. Abundance. It is even laughable for admin to believe that. He's saying that he has effectively suicided himself in the community. I want Mr. Admin to know that if the broadcasters told you that Mr. Abundance has lost credibility in TBC from the beginning of this debate, they're lying to you, sir. There's something where he says he has already lost 70% of his previous audience. I am saying to Mr. Admin that Mr. Abundance, due to this article, influence in the TBC community has grown tremendously. I said tremendously, because what Mr. Abundance is asking for in the community. It is just, it is fair, it is right, and it will get us to full-blown economy. And so, who are the ones who are complaining about Mr. Abundance? He says that I have wasted a great deal of my time listening to his broadcast over the last week in response to an avalanche of complaints coming to my desk about him. He has offended many who have access to TBC's desk, the admin's desk. I want all of us to answer the question. Those who are contestants of the Bitcoin contest and the broadcasters. And so these are the many he's speaking about. I said to you, he who controls the media controls the mind of the people. And the media is the most dangerous weapon on earth. The media. When the media is out to get you, they are out to get you. And so TBC has now using the tactics of the media as it's now implied to take out Mr. Abundance, because I am now questioning management. I am now demanding for accountability. I am now demanding for transparency. This is what the response by the TBC admin. And he thinks that this is enough to silence people with common sense in TBC. He has not touched any of the bullet points that we put forward. He has not touched to put progressive policies and to put accountability and transparency in TBC. No, he has not touched that. He has not touched the trustee and the privy council that is required for the TBC to have operational credibility. No, he has not touched that. He has not touched the idea to visit reputable sources so that we can get our blockchain and to get it right. No, he has not touched the numbers and the member. No, he has not touched those. And so I will, because I have a funeral to go to, I will stop share my screen. I think I have gone over, oh dear me, I gone over 38 minutes. My goodness. I didn't even realize I went over even my normal time, or at least 30 minutes. So I will bring you now into the debate, because this is not about Mr. Abundance. All right, and so we have, hello Steve, how are you? Hello Christina. Good evening, Mr. Abundance. Welcome to the forum. We listen to you and we love you. You are the voice of the people. No, don't tell Mr. Admin that. Mr. Admin says that I have lost 70% of my audience. You see, that is how the media are dangerous. And so when you listen to that, Mr. Abundance has lost 70% of his audience because he's asking for accountability, transparency. He's asking that admin remove the stranglehold of 8 grains of gold from around the necks of the unfortunate, of the poor in the community. He said, I lost 70% of TBCs, of the TBCians. If that is what the broadcasters told you in Monday's broadcast, they're lying to you, Mr. Admin. And you have now opened up a door, a new door for Mr. Abundance to perform at best. You have now really opened up the door that TBC will never remain the same, not while Mr. Abundance is in the audience. So if you think that you can continue with those promises as you have done in the past and keep on moving the goalposts arbitrarily at will as one man managing all this wealth, it cannot continue, Mr. Admin. So you have to prove your integrity to us. Mr. Abundance have nothing to prove because all of my audios and videos can test the test, can stand the test of times. Any one of them. You said that I have lied. You make all sorts of claims about Mr. Abundance Admin. I will not sink that low where you are concerned. I will not sink that low. Good evening, Mr. Abundance. Welcome to the full. Okay. Let's go. It's revolution time, probity and accountability. Are you not with agreement with TBC admin? Christina, this has nothing to do with agreement or not agreeable. TBC and I have no disagreement. We have no disagreement. He cannot say, the admin cannot say that I storm out of a meeting and I have now saying things that I disagree with him. No, there is no disagreement. A matter of fact, the bullet points I submitted to him yesterday so that we could have a discussion today and to tackle the meaningful in TBC. But as you can see, what he posted this morning on the blog, trying to discredit everything that I have done in TBC, I am now saying to the broadcasters, today may be Mr. Abundance Day, but tomorrow will certainly be yours, because it shows you cannot have a different point of view than the admin. You cannot challenge the admin policies nor program in TBC, else you will be labeled as a critic and a trash to be removed from the society. I said, Mr. Admin, I will have a field day with this article this week because I want the TBCians to get to understand the article of association that says do no harm to anyone in TBC. And what the admin has done was trying to damage Mr. Abundance or to inflict psychological harm to Mr. Abundance by not only the article, but the image. I want you guys to look at the image and the article. I am talking about the Kringle Association, and I will share my screen for this one. I think it worth sharing my screen because Mr. Admin is the creator of the Kringle Society. And here we have, I have to go back to it because it is so critical to what I am now saying. This is the Kringle Private Society, the Billion Coin, a global sharing and elementary society, which means we are a sharing community, sharing the abundance in TBC. Kringle Society Private Contract Association Article of Association. I will take my time this week to go through this page by page, and you then will answer the question, who is inflicting harm on who in the Kringle Society? And it goes down after the overall review. Article, the first principles. The society and the PCA, which is a private contract association, are founded upon the following principles. Number one, do no harm to another being or to the environment and living systems of the world. Do no harm to another being. I now turn back to the blog. You see, Mr. Abundance is strong. Mr. Abundance came to TBC understanding leadership. And I have taught what is leadership for months before I surface on TBC broadcast. And so the admin is saying, first article, do no harm. This graphic that admin took time to develop, what was his intention? Because it's not by shooting a man or by putting a knife into a man or take away his house or his car is the only way you inflict harm. Admin meant to inflict psychological harm to Mr. Abundance. And so by doing that, he even has violated the first principle, number one, do no harm to another being. I am now addressing the admin. And I am also putting out to the Kringle Society the principal position of our contract association, to which all of us have agreed to. This is why I will, even though it takes me 2 weeks to complete, I will take my time with this one, because admin should never make this mistake again to no one in TBC who challenge the systems that are unfair in the community. No one should have to go through this. And that is why I said this is what you call leadership. And I will be the sacrificial lamb for the community, for the Kringle Society. I, Mr. Abundance. Admin, this is not Mr. Abundance versus you, but we have to stand on our principles, to which was created by you and to which we agreed to, that we should do no harm to no one, especially people who are calling for accountability, who are calling for transparency, who are calling for good governance in TBC. Good evening. That is what they're calling for. We don't want to continue to be any laughing stock in TBC. I said we cannot continue to go around spinning like headless chickens in TBC. When there were no leadership, then maybe that was acceptable. But now you have leadership in TBC. The rules and the policies and the programs must reflect such in TBC. We are no fools in TBC, Mr. Admin. And so those of those that you have cloned, your broadcasters, and they will come out at Mr. Abundance. But Mr. Abundance will not even give them the light of day. I am dealing not with personalities, because that is what you want to happen. You want Mr. Abundance to get personal. No, this is not personal. The day I get personal is the day I lost my credibility and my ability to speak on this platform. You, the admin, went low, but Mr. Abundance will stay high and deal with the issues, because you cannot keep ignoring your own principles and maintain credibility in this society. It can never happen. And so you, the admin, you have opened up a door that I don't believe you of yourself is able to enter, but you have already done it. Good evening, Mr. Abundance, your mouthpiece of the people and the voice of the voiceless. Move on, sir. We are with you no matter what. Well, the admin say I have lost 70%. Good evening, sir. Good evening. Good evening, Mr. Abundance. Good evening. The admin says that Mr. Abundance is not truthful. And so Mr. Abundance will go through that. I said I will take my time to go through TBC's response to Mr. Abundance. I think that is a gift that Mr. Admin gave Mr. Abundance. And I tell you, the gift keeps on giving, because we cannot continue to have one person manage so much wealth. If the admin disappears tomorrow, God forbid he drops dead tomorrow, who carry on? Does he even understand leadership? Does he even care about our names in TBC and the people that we have brought into the community? Does he even really respect anyone in TBC, apart from those who are willing to collect Bitcoin bounties every week and to enter in Bitcoin contests? Does he really have TBC at heart? And this is what Mr. Abundance is saying. Mr. Admin, you have given Mr. Abundance a gift that he couldn't have given himself. And so I will educate the members, because it seems that they don't study the articles of association. Hello, Mr. Abundance, keep up the good works you're doing. I believe in you. Well, the admin says I have no credibility. Enough of this so-called admin who has a good start but has no finish, has no finishing. And by the way, I will go through all the promises made by the admin for the past 3.5 years. And you tell at the end of it, I want all of you to tell Mr. Abundance, can we continue like this for the next 3 years with these promises, broken promises? I said we cannot continue. The admin cannot continue to break its promises and enjoy credibility. Not with intelligent people, not with people with common sense. It will never happen. Our name, if his name is, because nobody knows his name, nobody ever seen the admin. I know people have seen him, but I will not go there because I am a principled person. I told you this morning, if I want to bury the admin in one recording, Mr. Abundance can do it. But it will not be principle. It will not be leadership. I cannot sing that low because I have nothing to protect than my name and those who we have brought into TBC. Okay, quickly, people, I have to go to a funeral. I am actually late. It actually starts at 1 o'clock. Look at that. It is 2:28 p.m. here. I am sorry, folks. Oh dear me, but I really have to cut this short. The Bitcoin bounty and other programs are not better than achieving our full-blown economy. How can it be better than achieving our full-blown economy? Great work you are doing, Mr. Abundance. We have our praise. Thanks to you, Uganda. Uganda. TBC admin is no longer addressing the issues with love and respect. TBC admin is no longer addressing the issues with love and respect. Well, we will go through that. We will go through that. We start to doubt to the legitimacy of TBC and the admin. This admin must be the biggest elite that the world would have ever known. Now, you see what the admin tried to do. The admin tried to bury Mr. Abundance, and he called those who will listen, who will challenge him, who will ask for accountability trash. Because that is what he says. Thank goodness for him for the critique as he take the trash out of TBC. And so now we are now become trash in TBC. All because we are calling for transparency and accountability. I cannot believe the admin. I am appalled by the utterance of the creator of the billion coin that portrays love and respect. And he says that Mr. Abundance is not treating him with respect. I believe admin should better listen, except he wants to tell us he and his boys are scammers. Now that is what it will come down to. That is what it will come down to. Because if you're not going to be transparent, if he's not going to be transparent, because he's behaving as if he has something to hide, now we're calling for transparency. I'm going to be late for this funeral. I can't be, I'm already late. I admit that the admin of TBC is a great person, but great people don't go it alone. He should start listening to other great minds like Mr. Abundance and all the others like Rodney and Danlus. The Kringle Society should be vibrant society where members can express their views without fear of being sanctioned. And that is what the admin now has sanctioned, as it were, Mr. Abundance. He says, I no longer have direct communication. He have taken away that privilege because I am not in the tank. I have a mind of my own and I refuse to be cloned. I will not go through the enormous attempt that he made to clone me. I will not go through because it will not even be principled. But he realizes that Mr. Abundance is of a different cloth. He realized that I am of a different cloth and I would not be cloned. And that is why I do not attend broadcasters' meeting, because I know what is going on. I know what is going on in TBC. And I have a warning for Mr. Mb Derrick. I will just put you on notice because you are the chief spokesperson for admin and you spoke loudly the most in last Monday's meeting. You, Mb Derrick, Mr. Mb Derrick, the admin doesn't think much of you. That's number one. You need to understand this, that you are just a puppet for the admin until when you are being replaced. I am speaking to you now as a brother. The last time you went to the Philippines, the admin noted that you were a waste of time and a disappointment when you went to the Philippines. It was a disaster. The admin went on to say that he will no longer be financing you, Derrick, to make a mess of your incompetencies He will stop finance you, Mr. Embe Derrick. You are just a puppet for the admin. And so I am now putting you on warning because you think that the admin speaks well of you. He doesn't, because he realizes you all are yes men and women in TBC. You cannot stand up to the admin like Mr. Abundance. Stand up for principle. The admin doesn't think much of you. That trip, that conference that you went in the Philippines, the admin told Mr. Abundance it was a disaster. And he will no longer continue to finance you around the world. You better finance yourself. And so, please, you need to know who you're dealing with. You need to know who you're dealing with. So I'm just putting you, my brother, on notice, because I don't want you to continue to be used by the admin. You must not be continue to be used by the admin, because you will have no credibility at the end of it all. Stand up for principle. Stand up for what is right. Not make a few bounty. Not a few bounty destroy you and your integrity. The FBI will investigate large-scale fraud. We join money out of the downline by the upline, the TBC administration. You have to be careful. Members should be sanctioned only when they break the rules and regulation of the society, not by expressing their views. I want to thank all of you for being here. I am very sorry I have to cut it short. But as I said, the funeral started an hour and 35 minutes ago. Mr. Abundance was very dear to the family. And so I thank all of you for your contribution. And so I have to really bring it to a close. Thank you very much. Tomorrow, the debate continues, because TBC will never be the same. It can never be the same. It can only get better for all of us. Thank you very much. God bless.